Regular watchers of the Tube might pick up on a trend in the weeks ahead, as we have. It's a proliferation of shows devoted to the fine art of sketch comedy. The dial's getting crowded with this theater of the weird art form, all owing a debt to their late-night granddaddy.
Up or down?
Down.
Ah, you want to drop anchor. Fair enough, sir.
Now in its 20th season on the air, Saturday Night Live has long been the king of sketch comedy shows. But channel surfers may now find scads of sketch shows all over the airwaves.
The Menendez Brothers Comedy Hour. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening. I'd hammer in your brains.
Shows like the Newz and MTV's The State are part of this trend toward more skit-style humor on TV. Saturday Night Live veterans Kevin Nealon and Mike Myers see the success of such shows as a sign of the times.
They have become popular, and I think that's because of people's short attention span. They don't like to sit down and watch a half-hour show. They like to be able to watch like a quick sketch as they're walking through the room or when they're flipping through the remote control.
When Saturday Night Live first started, you had 4 channels and you didn't have clickers. You didn't have remote control. Now you've got 100 channels and you've got remote controls.
We're not talking about a plane crash in the Andes here, sir. You never got off the runway. We're talking about a delay. You are the sole survivor of a 35-minute delay.
35 minutes I will never forget.
You ate 112 of your fellow passengers.
Canadian imports The Kids in the Hall have been frontrunners in this glut of comedy groups. Comedy Central has jumped on the sketch bandwagon, too, with Exit 57 and The Vacant Lot. According to Newsweek TV critic Rick Marin, viewers can expect lots more.
It's based on the success of Saturday Night Live and people trying to imitate that form. People have always tried to imitate it, but for some reason lately, everybody's decided that this is the way to go, that, you know, sketch comedy is going to be the next big thing.
Who these pelados?
Nobody calls us pantyhose. Dig?
Over on the Fox network, film star John Leguizamo is getting into the act with the debut of his own skit show, House of Buggin. Leguizamo claims this form of comedy is perfectly suited to his style.
You can do all kinds of different characters. I could finally be Jewish. I always wanted to be Jewish. It was a dying need within inside of me, and finally, I'm so happy I'm cavelling.
Action! Limburger cheese, yeah?
Though MTV's The State may seem silly, all 11 cast members who write their own material take their comedy very seriously, unlike their ET interviews.
We all met in Saigon, actually, during the war years. We were all working at this brothel.
But sketch comedy can be a bumpy ride, especially for comedian Martin Short, whose show didn't survive last season. At the time, Martin told E.T. he knew it was a gamble he wanted to take.
This is more experimental for me. Will my sensibility, my comedic sensibility, play in prime time, where it's never played before?
Even though Martin Short is a former Saturday Night Live cast member, critics caution that successful shows will need to be innovators and not imitators.
I think the ones that will be most successful are the ones that try to carve out a new style for themselves. Shows that just try to do what Saturday Night Live does are probably not going to do it as well, and it's going to look stale, and it's going to look like the same old thing. The trick is with these shows is to keep up the quality.
Right now! Bang! Okay. Here's the problem. Come on, you little rock. What are the Thompson brats? Try it now.
Eureka!
Okay, let's go, Scooter.
Good news for Martin Short fans. His show is being retooled to be brought back in February or March. Also, Nickelodeon will debut a sketch comedy show for kids called All That later this month.
A new role for next Beatle, a role